What are you looking at? I don't have any work, if that's what you're wondering. I operate on my own, and if you were smart, you'd do the same.
I'm in your service. I'm at your service, of course. It's a pleasure to ride with you. I hope this is just early days in our tale.
I think I've got this. Just a bit more, and I'll have a spell matrix worthy of the greatest mage rights on Artaeum.
Gonfalon maid went upon the lea to where sunny flowers stood. For she loved the sun and she loved the green, and she danced merrily beside the wood. She danced beside the wood. The lad she loved went down to the shore, a sailing man for to be. For he loved the wind and he loved the spray, and he roamed upon the roiling sea. He roamed up. When lightning strikes far from shore, and the fates still might move till they shout no more, I hope to be on the prow, standing tall, spitting in the face of life's final call. We fought and we loved folks on shore. When we're gone, many drinks they'll pour. For the waters deep and stormy sea cold, as life sinks into the blackness below the hold.
All right, so how much trouble are you in?
Raise a toast with a mug in your hand,
Hope we find something interesting today. What would you like to talk about?
and one's waiting on land. Our bodies may be consigned to the foamy depths.
Stendarr protect us. Let's get out there.
No doubt about it. How did that happen?
be helpful. So much riding with you, my friend. Why did you do that?
This is a mess.
I imagine the Ascendant Order ruffians loitering outside had something to do with that. Let's look around. A few drops of dried blood. A scuffle, but not a murder. Someone planning to depart. I think I have a picture of what transpired here. Let's talk, my dear. Nothing packed, food left on the table, and signs of a recent scuffle. I think it's safe to say Dockmaster Arnaud found that his Ascendant Order friends weren't entirely satisfied with their arrangement. They've obviously spirited him away. The Dockmaster ignored the wishes of the Ascendant Magus. Captain Colleen saw Arnaud collect another payment at the lock. I suspect he got greedy, and once he proved he wouldn't stay bribed, well, he became a liability. The Ascendant Order's throwing around a lot of coin on High Isle. If we follow the gold, we'll find someone with wealth and local influence behind this. Another clue that a High Isle noble is involved. Perhaps they want to keep the war going. Profit, of course. That's what it always comes down to. Lord Bacaro should be able to tell us which nobles stand to lose if the war ends. Go to Steadfast Manor, northwest of the city. I'll have Jakarn look for the Dockmaster and then meet you there. Almost certainly. As I said, we must be careful about whom we trust. It is a concern, but it can also work to our advantage. Gold only buys loyalty for so long, and I suspect our adversaries are not as organized as they appear. We know their opening move didn't go as planned. They were interrogating the captains to try to find the missing Alliance leaders. Now they've taken the Dockmaster, who would have been more useful to them where he was. They don't trust each other. I doubt it. If Dockmaster Arnaud knew where the Alliance leaders were, he would have happily sold that information to the Ascendant Magus in exchange for his freedom. We know he didn't because the Order is still looking for them. I suspect the Order wants power, not peace. When the throne is vacant, your prospects of becoming Emperor suddenly seem a good deal more promising. That sort of prize might tempt a noble with just the right mix of ambition, gold, and imagination. Lord Baccaro worked diligently to bring the peace talks to High Isle. Not everyone thought that was a good idea. I'm curious as to who opposed him and why. Better yet, he won't voice suspicions without good cause. We can rely on his discretion.
I'll ask around. See if my contacts have any clues as to where the Dockmaster was taken. If I can find him, maybe we can make him talk. You go with Lady Arabelle to meet with Lord Baccaro. I'll find you if I turn up anything useful.
I take no pleasure in killing, but I'm glad we're alive and they're not. There are none left to stand against us.
You there! Can we speak for a moment?
I want to help, Lady Arabelle, but I'm concerned for the safety of my retainers.
My associate might be able to help in that regard, Lord Baccaro.
Lady Arabelle asks about the nobility, while 2 of my retainers are missing. The Society of the Steadfast will do whatever is necessary to keep its people safe. She mentioned the Ascendant Order might be involved. Do you think that's possible? Yes, I understand that you and Lady Arabelle have tangled with these brigands before. They claim to be knights, but they have no honor. Will you do as Lady Arabelle suggested and look for my retainers? I would consider it a personal favor. I sent Grenier and Denise to retrieve a shipment from the Navir docks, but I expected them back ages ago. They were traveling the road to the south. I just pray no... Thank you, but...
Good quality there. You've met your match.
That's not a stew pot, it's my laundry.
Oh, nice. What did you find? Stendar, keep us safe.
Well, I shouldn't just walk into someone's home, even if they were rude.
Another find for your pack.
I suppose I could use another break.
You return alone. I take it the news is not good. Grenier and Denise were not just retainers. They were friends. The Steadfast shall miss them, and so shall I. Please, tell me what happened. Grenier and Denise were helping arrange a banquet at Castle Nevere. Then they were to collect the supplies and return here. What could they have seen that would cost them their lives? The banquet is just to welcome our royal guests to the island. The Ascendant Order, plundering Steadfast supplies and killing our retainers. Damn. It was brave of Grenier to try to fight back, but foolish. The supplies weren't worth their lives. So Lady Arabelle informed me. I hesitate to accuse anyone, but perhaps you should join me at Castle Nevere. All the nobles of High Isle will be there, and if my retainers did see something at the castle, perhaps you can determine what that was. Duchess Elea of House Dufort is hosting the banquet. She's decided to go ahead and throw the party, even though our guests of honor are still missing. Go to Castle Nevere's courtyard. Introduce yourself when you arrive. Be discreet, please. My family has always believed that wealth is meant to foster good works. When the three alliances went to war, I made the decision to do whatever I could to help common folk caught in their violent wake. So I started the Society of the Steadfast. We're not a religious organization per se, but we do take inspiration from the teachings of Standar. We establish healing centers and other works to show compassion and mercy to those touched by this terrible war, soldiers and commoners both. We're a small society that mostly works near the battlefields of Cyrodiil. I did turn a portion of my estate on High Isle into a healing center. We bring the badly wounded here to recuperate. The peace talks naturally grew out of our other efforts. Duchess Elea wants to project confidence, especially in light of the current situation. Rumors travel swiftly in the archipelago. The people need to believe we have things under control. I expected to pay a ransom and have the delegates back by now. Ridiculous. No one opposes peace. It's just that some of the nobles questioned if this were the right time and place. Duchess Elea, for example, didn't want to bring the mainland's troubles to High Isle, not without hope our efforts would bear fruit. Count Leonard of House Mornard enjoys brisk profits by supplying all sides in the war. He doesn't want that to end too abruptly, especially not in a way that makes Elea and House Dufort look good. He detests that she decided to host the talks. Rivals and partners. House Mornard built its wealth on trade. They rely on House Dufort ships to carry their goods. But the two families have long vied with each other for primacy. The Mornards resent the fact that the Duforts rule High Isle. My family has always...
It's a shame the Ascendant Order got to Lord Bakaro's retainers before you could. What could they have seen that warranted their deaths? Perhaps we'll learn more at Castle Navir, although I'm certainly not in the mood for a party. And our missing guests of honor will no doubt be the main topic of discussion. This is a chance to listen, as well as ask questions. Make sure you speak to Alea Dufort, Demar Dufort, and John Menard. They'll be the most important nobles present. Until we know more, I suspect everybody. But if any of the nobles are funding the Ascendant Order, I think it likely that it's one of the grand families of High Isle. That means House Dufort or House Menard. Either way, we'll know more soon. Alea is the Duchess of House Dufort, and nominal ruler of High Isle. Demard is her brother and a count. John Menard is the highest-ranking noble of House Menard, currently on High Isle. He's Count Leonard's cousin, representing house interests here. On the move.
You there! Can we speak for a moment?
She is fine, shortly. Oscar will be back any moment.
Beware, salty spirit! Sachi will not go easy!
Oh. You're no ghost. Sachi will keep lookout from the high ground. Nothing but rotters and sticky blob things as far as this one sees. Be wary. No trouble for one with claws as sharp as Sachi's. And a bit fun, he must admit. Alas, no sign of what he sees yet. Let us continue this way. Hey, Walker! How are you doing down there? Sachi can see your full meat work from here. Keep on your toes. Your toes! Oh, you're easy. Sachi will lead you ahead. Crab!
once again!
I think that cramp is finally going away. I'll be right down. You seem much calmer now.
Might have been sooner if it hadn't gone so far. Thanks for keeping an eye on Doc. Or I'll take you by the scruff.
He can feel that cramp coming again. He will follow you from this gentle spray.
Looks dead now.
Let us have a look at the mill.
Another trap. I'll hold these beasts off. Kill that damn Spriggan. Hurry and kill the big one. nothing worse than guard duty.
Sea elves? Hi-ya! They must be here for Zaji's treasure. We must hurry.
A fourfold block. Well, where to?
Zaji's map tells him the master shipbuilder's office could be just over the bridge. Zaji is not often considered overweight, but that roof thought otherwise. This was ransacked recently. This and we're here.
Take my share in soap before this is done.
Captain Zaji!
Scavengers! Ha! Take the lodestones to Dreadsail Reef. I'll make sure these wretches can't follow.
I'd like to see you fight.
It will take more than that playful splash! It's Zaji must threaten them!
Where they are tame, you shall be found. Landcrawlers do have teeth, but you are nothing but slaughterfish among sharks. I cannot be defeated. Like a shark chasing hawkers.
Not drowned so easily, fish elf. Oh, he's dead, and his ship is long gone.
Zaji, his pockets.
Yes, these scroll cases bears the shipyard's crest. Casca, Zaji could kiss you, but he values his unmangled face. But wait, this is not what they were after. Then what was it the sea elf was boasting
right
about?
beside you.
How
Let's
could
get
any
out there.
lodestones be more a prize than this? Ooh, Zaji can hunt. Things so clever that Zaji thinks this master shipbuilder must have been a Khajiit.
Looking forward to seeing what you make with that.
Might as well enjoy ourselves while we're here. Do you still prefer a Russafeld red, my lady?
That would be delightful. Thank you, Baccaro. Introduce yourself to the nobility, my friend. And remember, even the smallest detail could be the clue we seek.
I don't believe we've met. John Monard, a pleasure. My family is in shipping. We import goods from the mainland and send wares from the archipelago to markets in Tamriel. You're the investigator working with Lady Arabelle, aren't you? The Duchess explained everything to the court just before you arrived. If Lady Arabelle had consulted us, things would be different. We know what hazards await careless captains making the approach to High Isle. Her ships were simply unprepared. Don't tell me you buy into this Ascendant Order nonsense. A shadowy order of knights working to undermine the governments all across Tamriel? It's a ruse, my friend. A convenient fiction to protect the flawless name of House Dufort. Oh. Alea gained her station by currying favor in High Rock. Then she made a show of backing Lord Baccaro's steadfast society. But ruining the peace talks and getting heads of state killed? Blame must be placed. And she'd never fall on that sword herself. My family ruled the archipelago for generations, but the Duforts were never happy in our shadow. They spent years poisoning the court against us. And when my uncle Avreep quietly supported King Rancer a few years back, it paid off for them. The High King stripped my uncle of the ducal title and gave it to the Duforts. It was an outrage, really. We took no part in Rancer's war. Well, at least the Duforts didn't get everything they wanted. We kept most of our holdings, and it eats at them. Goodness, no. That honor falls to my cousin Leonard, and he can have it. I wouldn't want the responsibility. No, I'm content managing our affairs here on High Isle. I leave the larger concerns of the business and house to my cousin, the Count.
Such a waste. I have little patience for the vanity of our noble houses on the best of days. Right now, I'm sure we all have better things we could be doing. I suspect you agree. You're the one assist. I try to keep up on matters of state, but I confess, Alea told us all about you. I am Count de Mard, the Duchess's brother and court mage of House Dufort. Tell me, has your investigation uncovered news regarding a sudden storm that appeared recently? A hypothesis that matches my own. While my sister chases bandit knights across the countryside, I wonder about the druids who make the wild parts of High Isle their home. They have little love for civilized culture. They could be responsible. I don't think that storm was natural. The druids wield old magics and consort with spirits. It is well within their abilities to summon such a tempest. They mostly keep to themselves, but I suspect a ruse. Those are your culprits, mark my words. Magic is the legacy and heritage of the Breton people. Oh, I spent my time mastering the sword and knightly pursuits in my youth, but I believe that a true Breton must study both halves of our nature, and perhaps the ways of the druids, too. We Bretons trace our ancestry to Needs and Elves who intermingled during the early history of High Rock. Therefore, spellcraft is in our blood, and we all at least have some talent with magic. I find the subject fascinating and decided to embrace it. No, some have forgotten our traditions. Were it not for my talent, I doubt my sister would bother with a court mage. She sends me to look after Dufort interests in ports across Tamriel, rather than making full use of my arcane skills. A pity.
Lord Baccaro has arrived, Duchess. He brought that Lady Arabelle with him.
Welcome to Castle Navir. You're Lady Arabelle's assistant, yes? Then you know these festivities are only for appearances' sake. Our guests of honor have yet to be found. Rest assured, I intend to bring the radicals behind this plot to justice. I'm aware of most things that happen on my isle. It's true we didn't connect reports of mysterious knights to the Ascendant Order until recently, but now that we know they are one and the same, we'll quickly bring them to heel. I suggest that you and Lady Arabelle leave this matter in our hands. My knights have already pinpointed several sites where the Ascendant Order gathers. They are scouring High Isle for our missing guests even as we speak. Which is why I prefer to handle this discreetly. I suspect House Mornard is behind this. They profit greatly from the war, and they still hold a grudge against my house for overshadowing their own. Frankly, I put nothing past them. My family builds ships. Our shipyards construct the finest vessels to ply the western seas. In reward for our service, High King Emmerich granted us the Duchy of Sisters. We rule with care and compassion for all, even the Mornards. One should be careful when talking about one's neighbors. Still, Count Mornard's dislike of my family is well known. Years ago, his father backed King Ronser of Schornhelm in his dispute with High King Emmerich. Emmerich did not forget it. He punished Avreep Mornard by stripping him of his ducal title and granting it to my father instead. The Mornards remain counts, with holdings and estates throughout the Isles. But the Duforts are now the Dukes of the Sisters.
Might I offer you a refreshment, friend? Didn't think I'd miss this little soiree, did you? Listen, I have it on good authority from a very accommodating chambermaid, in fact, that the Duchess has been looking into the Ascendant Order on her own. Well, I've got a plan. Not Jakarn, waiter, Fred. I'm in disguise. I told you about the chambermaid, right? She's one of the Duchess's personal assistants. Well, she told me where the Duchess keeps her sensitive documents, among other unmentionable items. Nobles and the upper staff never pay attention to the common help. I easily filched a key from that stuck-up steward Hercian. While I cause a distraction, you go take a look. Duchess Alea has a private study somewhere beyond the northeast door. I'll lure the guards away from the doors, but I'll need your help. Talk to one of the musicians and ask them to play the tune Stagger and Sway. It's an old favorite of mine. I'll take it.
Something you need, friend? I don't really take requests. Duchess Alea provided a list of approved songs she wanted performed. That one definitely isn't one of them. Not that she would notice. I don't think anyone is really listening to the music. It's good to see that someone appreciates the arts. All right then, you'll have your song.
Lords and ladies of the court, I dedicate this song and dance to the most buxom, curvaceous, voluptuous of all royals, Duchess Alea.
You get down from there at once. Stop this nonsense.
What are you doing, I wonder?
I hope I was of some assistance.
Storm and fire will bring down the old regime. Lightning and lava will herald in a new age.
This was a warning. No one is beyond our reach. Stand aside and you will find a place in the new regime. Stand against us, and you will be brought to your knees.
Oh, good, you're all right. It seems our adversary has decided to send a message to all those in attendance. Submit or die. A classic. Did you uncover anything useful before the Ascended? I see. Clearly Duchess Alea's investigation hasn't gotten very far. Did you notice how the ground shook when he unleashed his storm? That's not a magic I've seen before. Somehow his storm magic is causing earthquakes. At least he hasn't recovered the Alliance leaders yet. We still have time. Because the Ascendant Magus has made a show of wanting us to fear him. Why would he care if he had what he wanted and couldn't be stopped? No, the royals elude him, somehow. Among the other problems plaguing High Isle, lava vents have begun to open in random locations. Between the ground shaking and the storms, could the Magus have stirred the volcano? Let's return to my manor so we can study these items more closely. Lord Bacaro, it may not be safe to return to Steadfast Manor.
Nonsense. I refuse to hide from these cretins. I'll double my guard, but they won't drive me from my home.
Very well. I'll check in with you later. Jakan, let's go. And...
Here we go.
Look! The Colossus!
These tremors grow more powerful. I heard that volcanic fissures are bursting open across the Isles.
First the storm, now this? It must be the work of the Ascendant Order.
You give them too much credit. An earthquake destroyed the Gonfalon Colossus.
Yes, an Ascendant earthquake. Trust Zaji, he knows.
I have visited High Isle several times over the years. Never have I seen the ground so restless. It is alarming. Could such storm and fire... I am troubled. If the Ascendant Magus can use powerful storm magic against his enemies, does he also command the tremors and volcanic fissures? It is maddening to even contemplate. Oh, Zaji is right to worry then. The loss of a monument might be the least of our concerns if the Ascendant Order can rouse the volcano. Lady Arabelle is inside, friend. Perhaps she'll know what to do.
What would you ask of me? Of course. What did you want to discuss? Stendar willing, our adventures have only just begun.
Was it too much to hope that one of High Isle's nobles would openly admit their guilt? Ah, well. At least we can rule out Duchess Alea. Her notes make it clear she was caught off guard by the attack on the delegates' ships. And this map. Interesting. If this map really points to sites important to the Ascendant Order, then it's our best lead so far. Here, my dear, take this with my thanks. With your continued help, we'll find the royals and discover who's behind the Order before long. We must. The map you acquired provides a number of leads that might help us find High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and Prince Ernskar. As the line from the Investigator Veil books reads, there's always another mystery. Let's get to it, my dear. One is clearly the Dufort shipyards, where the house constructs new vessels. Another is near Stonelaw Grove, home to a circle of friendly druids. The third appears to be a cave near Tor Draeak. A strange set of disparate locations indeed. I'll leave that to you. Investigate all three and report back here. I'll send Jakan to the docks, Captain Colleen to the cave, and Valesia to the grove. Rendezvous with them at each location and see what you can uncover about our rogue knights. We don't know what the Ascendant Order is doing out there, but hopefully something at one of those locations will lead us to our missing royals. But do be careful. I'd hate to see such a capable agent get hurt while assisting me. I did. I arrived just in time to see part of it collapse. As much as it saddens me to see the proud Baron Admiral fall, we have more pressing problems to deal with. I'll mourn the Colossus of Gonfalon Bay, after the Alliance leaders are safe.
Yes, Zaji promised not to drink until Queen Irene was safe, but that was before Zaji saw the Colossus of Gonfalon Bay break apart. No one can expect Zaji to stay sober after that.
Ready to write the next chapter of our tale? Of course. What did you want to discuss? Some of my favorite tales are those of the Alliance leaders. And the companions, the adventuring group? Incredible.